It was March 3rd of 2025, and I am pushing my squeaky-wheeled cart up and down the aisles of Costco with my 13-year-old daughter, Zara. As the mother of four, grocery day usually has the energy of the cornucopia scene at the beginning of the Hunger Games, except everyone's not fighting for crossbows, they're going for the carbs at any given moment. And so that's the energy that I thought this day was going to have. But this day was a little bit different because this was the day that we had gotten the diagnosis. See, my daughter had been having these strange symptoms for about a year. She was hungry but couldn't eat. Her skin tone was kind of olive colored. She never wanted to get out of bed. So they had run test after test after test and couldn't find anything. So we were for several months in this kind of limbo. And over these months, her skin tone kind of went from olive to alphaba, and she was dropping weight really fast. And so, like moms do, I called the doctor and said, hey, could we do these tests again? Like maybe we missed something. So they did. And on March 3rd, 2025, they called and they said, your daughter has celiac disease, which is a severe reaction to wheat, malt, barley, and rye. And even the smallest doses, to the point where even something marked gluten-free might not be celiac safe for her. So I'm always an optimist, and I'm just thinking, we finally have an answer. We're not in limbo anymore. We have action steps. So I run up to my daughter's room, eager to tell her the news. And I walk in, and she'd been sleeping with her pink teen Bible, which was a sign that it had been a rough night, and she hadn't been feeling well. But I woke her up and I said, Zara, we have an answer. We have an answer. Finally, you have celiac disease. And she just rolls over in bed and she looks at me and she says, Mom, why should I even get up? Now I can't eat anything. And I can't blame her. I mean, even a piece of flour or a breadcrumb could make her sick for 6 days. It's as a teenager, it's like being a superhero, which essentially teenagers are, and then finding out that kryptonite exists and that kryptonite is microscopic and everywhere. So I went downstairs and sat at the dining room table and had a glass of red wine at 11 o'clock in the morning because that's my kryptonite. At 12 o'clock comes around, 1 o'clock comes around, 2 o'clock comes around, and I have WebMD'd myself into a frenzy at this point. She's still asleep, and I'm thinking, we have got to do something. So I go upstairs and I grab her and I say, Zara, we need some Costco energy right now. Get up, get dressed, we're going to Costco. So there we are going through the aisles at Costco. And I'm like, I'm sure that half of what we eat is probably gluten-free. It's going to be fine. And after 2 hours of reading labels scrupulously, we have three things in our cart: apples, hummus, and potato chips. And she's looking really sad. And it doesn't help any that you could smell the rotisserie chickens in the back, which are she can't eat anymore. So it's a kind of like suburban torture smelling that. And so finally I say to her, why don't you take this cart and just anything that says certified gluten-free, you can have it. And I'm like kind of a cross between an almond mom and a cheap ass. And so this is like pretty rare for me to let my kids have control over the grocery cart. But I'm like, just go for it. Because I knew that I didn't have a good poker face. And if she started to cry, that I was going to start crying. And this was not going to go well. And so I gave her the cart and sent her away. And I said, I'll just be right here in the yogurt aisle. So 5 minutes passes, 10 minutes pass, 15 minutes pass. She's still not back. So I call my husband. I'm like, what am I going to do? She can't find anything. I think she's not going to find anything. What are we going to do? And just at that moment, I hear the squeaky cart in the next aisle over. And I say, okay, I got to go. And I hang up. And she comes around the aisle And I'll be darned if she had not piled that cart full of things that she had found. She was so excited. She was like fruit by the foot and Skittles and Starbursts and macaron and ice cream and pickle dip. She goes, I didn't even know that pickle dip existed, but they were giving out samples and it said certified gluten free, so I got some. And she had so much food in that cart and a smile that I had not seen in months. So I could not back out on this deal. So it has been a year and I am still making payments on that Costco trip. But it was worth it because she's doing better. And not because celiac is easy, but because that day we discovered the healing restorative power of snacks.